Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are very happy to introduce you to our show titled Speak of Africa. If this is the first time you're watching this show, I am Prince Ojong, your humble host. I started this channel because I felt people of Africa need a voice. We need people who can come together and talk about Africa's problems. We have a lot of problems in Africa, as you may know. Just watching our channel, you can tell that we focus on African problems. Today, most of the problems we face in Africa have to do with our former colonial master. The most popular colonial master we have in Africa is France. So right now, we're waking up to open our eyes to see the bad things that France is doing to us as a people. France is not a good colonial master. And today, people are complaining what France is doing in the motherland. When you look at the comments of a former economy minister of France, Thierry Breton, he made some comments that are very eye-opening. And we're going to use these comments as the focus of our show today. Thierry Breton, right now, we understand he's part of the European Union, which is a single market for Europe. Why can there not be a single market for Africa? That's a question you need to ask. Thierry Breton was really angry with his master, Emmanuel Macron, the current president of France. Thierry Breton is accusing Macron for opening the eyes of Africans. Thierry Breton thinks Africans are dull, Africans are dumb. For so many years, France has been stealing the resources of Africa, and Africans have been doing nothing about it. France has been colluding with the elite, people like the Paul Biya, the Alassane Ouattara, Omar Bongo, the likes of those guys, to steal the resources of Africa with impunity. For the first time, Africans are opening their eyes. The African youth opening their eyes. And Thierry Breton thinks it is all Emmanuel Macron's fault. Maybe he's weak, he's not doing the job well, so Africans are waking up from their slumber. Well, we thank Africans for waking up from their slumber. The days of France are numbered. So it looks like France is framed for a failure, and we know Thierry Breton is really lamenting because French influence is winning in the whole of Africa. Okay? When you look at most of these African colonies, France does not have the kind of influence it was wielding in the past, and for good reason. Africans are smelling the coffee. They are waking up to understand what time it is, and we like that. Okay? Africans are protesting everywhere because they have opened their eyes. They can see the bad things that France has been doing to them. France signed cooperative agreements with puppets after most countries achieve what I call flag independence, pseudo independence. They signed cooperative agreements, and most of these agreements of collaboration had to do with military intervention if you are, as an African leader, become a victim of a coup d'etat, or economic sabotage and theft. They steal all the resources of Africans, take them to their country. Even artifacts. As of late, we've been getting information about France returning artifacts that were stolen during the colonial period to Africa. Isn't this a shame? So this is going to be the focus of our show. When people like Thierry Breton look at the future, they see that their grandkids are going to live in a future where they will be suffering like the Africans who are crossing the Mediterranean to Europe in search of greener pastures. So instead of Africans traveling to Europe to look for greener pastures, the French and Europeans will be traveling to Africa as refugees, as immigrants. So things are going to change. The immigration thing is going to change. So now Europeans will be desperate coming to Africa to look for jobs. Africans are going to be thriving in their country. They're going to be happy, which is why we have to build a new Africa based on a total makeover of the nation state. Okay? We have to do this politically, economically, and socially. At the end of the show, we're going to tell you how this can be done. But for now, we'll take you to Ambazonia. Ambazonia is really suffering. The killing continues. Some people say, oh no, things have stopped, nothing is happening. It's a lie. This week, government forces of Paul Biya killed General Ayuk in Malende village. I know Malende village very well. I lived there before. I live in the camp and I live in the village and in the little town. Okay? Then the Ambazonian Restoration Forces also fought back and killed some gendarmes. So it's always like tit for tat. This is what has been happening in Ambazonia. So don't let anybody tell you nothing is happening. A lot is still going on. We talk to people on the ground and they feed us a lot of information. I even spoke to a friend who lives now in Ndop. This was a former classmate of mine. I will not call his name. He tells me how precarious things have become in that part of the world. After 5 p.m., you cannot even talk on the phone because you don't know who is listening. You don't even know who is standing outside in front of your house listening to what you're saying. So people are just scared. And people are just asking, Paul Biya, when is the Ambazonian crisis going to end? When are you going to be able to resolve this crisis? It looks like you don't want to resolve the crisis. But remember, 2025 looms large. In 2025, it looks like there will be a new presidential election in La République du Cameroon. Of course, Biya sympathizers are thinking that Biya is going to be a candidate for 2025. Others are thinking that maybe there will be some form of change, positive change, that they can believe in. Maybe Maurice Kamto will stand for elections with Dion Gute representing the party of Mr. Paul Biya. Really? Or Mr. Biya may be a candidate for his own succession. Those are all possibilities. But people are complaining that Biya is really old and he's really ill. So his illness and his age will combine to make it impossible for him to run again. His hangers-on may try to make him up so that he can look good and stand, but we don't think he can perform. His French masters know that Biya is finished. They know this. And they don't have any prospect for a future of Cameroon with Biya. So we're now almost at the end of the rope for the Biya regime. So those who like it or don't like it, this is the end of the Biya regime. Nous sommes à la croisée des chemins. C'est ça. Vous comprenez? We're at the crossroads. So Biya is really coming to an end. So that era is really ending. Whether you like it or not, even in philosophy, to everything that there is a beginning, there must be an end. So that's a basic philosophical premise. There's some people live in a world of voodoo, which Biya has made for them. They feel Biya will live forever. Biya is a god who will never die. But we tell you, Biya is going to die soon. He may say, oh, I'm not going to die. I've lived past 25 years. I'm not going to die again. Well, let's keep watching. But you get the news. So this is what is happening. In fact, a poll was taken recently by a lot of people in the Banana Republic of Cameroon. Then they were asked, who would win the next presidential elections? The choice was Maurice Kamto. This is assuming that the election is going to be free and fair. But do you ever have free and fair elections in La République du Cameroon? It's a banana republic. All elections are rigged. And we know Biya's hangers-on are going to try to rig this new election. That's what is going to happen. And now we take you to Chad. What about Chad? What is happening in Chad is Mahatma Debi Itno is now the leader of the country. After his father died, he took over. But we don't think the French hold on power remains strong. France is supporting him. In fact, when the father died, Emmanuel Macron came to Chad to show up support for the junta. Then you ask yourself, is this the country that believes in democracy? No. France just wants to keep these colonial leaders in power so that France can take the oil. Chad is a very rich oil country, but the people don't gain anything. Now, Mahatma Debi Itno is talking about drafting a new constitution, but you ask yourself, is he going to allow members of the opposition, like Success Madri, to run for election? Or is he going to change his tribes, remove his military regalia, and become a civilian president? It looks like that's what he's planning. He's planning to write a new constitution, and in this new constitution, he will be the presidential candidate. Who is he fooling? Not the people of Chad. The people of Chad are too smart. They want France to beat it, to get lost. And France will get lost. Already there's a lot of protests. Last time they killed a lot of protesters, but there are going to be more protesters in Chad. And we can tell you this, okay? Then we'll take you to Congo DRC. Congo DRC is going to the polls on December 20, okay? So in a few days, they will have a new president. Who is the president going to be? Is it going to be Felix Tshisekedi, Moise Katumbi, Martin Fayulu, or is it Corneille Nangaa? Corneille Nangaa this week has emerged as a candidate who also wants to run, and he is trying to build a political platform with M23. So M23 wants to morph now from an armed group to a political group. But you guys should remember that M23 is supported by Paul Kagame of Rwanda. So you should know that Corneille Nangaa is not a good candidate because he's selling his country to Rwanda. So when you see such a candidate, why would you support a candidate like this? He's not a Pan-Africanist. He's not a nationalist. The problem in Congo will remain. People like Corneille Nangaa are just opportunists. They want money and power for themselves. They don't want to do anything to help their people. So this is what you need to know as you watch this show. Is Corneille Nangaa a good guy? Even the candidacy of Moise Katumbi has been raising a lot of doubts. People have been asking, is this guy a real Congolese? We don't think this is a serious argument. This is just a distraction. In fact, in an interview, we saw Moise Katumbi present all his passports, and he was able to prove to the journalists that he travels using Congolese passports all the time. He has even traveled with Felix Tshisekedi in his own private plane. So, and remember, Corneille Nangaa used to be the president of the Electoral Commission. So if he is running now for president, then you know that things are not good in Congo DRC. Who is suffering? The people. Congo DRC is a rich country in terms of minerals, but the people are suffering because of the greed of the elite. When is this suffering going to come to an end? When can the people enjoy the wealth of the country? It's the question a lot of inquiring minds are asking. Next, we'll take you to Gabon.
Tired of waiting in long lines at the emergency room or your doctor's office? You should be. Why wait in long lines for care? It's time for you to come to Lucille Urgent Care. Real care, no waiting. Lucille Urgent Care, the best place for true and loving care. Service at Lucille Urgent Care is convenient, fast, time efficient, affordable, accessible, transparent, and cost effective. Royal treatment is your right. Indeed, it's not just a privilege or pejorative. Skip the emergency room's long lines, kiss the ER goodbye, say farewell to your old doctor's office, pay less, save time, enjoy the excitement of convenience, receive immediate treatment, get the healthcare you need quickly and affordably. Lucille Urgent Care offers many express services: rapid COVID-19 testing, on-site prescription, preventative lab services, imaging and x-rays, urgent medical treatment for common illnesses and injuries, routine vaccines and flu shots, work-related injury services, pre-employment, occupational, annual, and sports physicals, immigration exams, and much more. Same-day treatment, rapid lab results, extended hours, weekend hours, no appointment necessary, no insurance necessary, no doctor necessary, walk-ins accepted, telemedicine available. We are open 7 days a week with evening and weekend hours. We are located in Maryland. Lucille Urgent Care, 903 Half York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. Website, lucilleuc.com. Call at 443-275-1286 or 301-593-4897.
What is happening in Gabon? Gabon is a French colony. You may say former French colony, but I say it was still a French colony. Omar Bongo's son, Ali Bongo, has been overthrown, but we think this is just a palace coup. This doesn't really change much. This week, we understand that on Friday, the Organization of Central African States, they decided to reject the overtures of Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema. Brice Clotaire Oligui wanted sanctions to be lifted against his country, but this organization decided it was not time. The past few weeks saw this Brice Oligui guy flying from one capital to another. Last week, we told you about his visit to Cameroon. He has had visits to Congo, DR Congo, Brazzaville, where he met with Sassou Nguesso. Then he also met with Equatorial Guinea's dictator, Obiangema. All of them are Fang, same tribe. They're the ones controlling that part of the country. We were thinking that probably because of tribalism, they will allow him to get back into the fold of the African states. It did not happen. So they are still waiting for transition to civilian rule, which is said may take place in 2 years. Is it real? Is it sincere? It is for us to wait and see. Okay? Next, we take it to Madagascar. We're on a safari. Rajolina has won elections in Madagascar. If you remember, in 2018, this DJ-10 president was very popular and won an election, but the opposition is boycotting and not wanting to legitimize him. That's what we see in Madagascar. And we know things are not auguring well for this country. So keep watching. We know things are going to happen in Madagascar. Keep watching. We may have a coup d'etat in Madagascar. Next, we take it to Niger. Well, in Niger, the junta is still resisting threats from ECOWAS. ECOWAS wants the junta to release former President Mohamed Bazoum. But the pressure is not working. The junta is refusing to release him. And we understand that a lot of pressure is being put on this junta. People are even suspecting that America has been behind on a coup d'etat, which failed. So all these juntas, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, the military leaders there are fighting very hard to stay in power. They are making it impossible for the colonial master to come back and try to overthrow them. Because they've seen what has happened in the past when they overthrew people like Kwame Nkrumah, legitimately elected leaders. So the junta is afraid because they know that the colonial master will still try to overthrow them and put a puppet back in power. They don't want this to happen. And that's what is happening now. They are very, very tough. They are working hard to make it impossible to overthrow them. Even in Burkina Faso, you saw when Ibrahim Traoré trashed guys who were trying to organize a coup d'etat against him. The same thing is happening in Mali. Assimi Goïta is trying as hard as possible to make sure that nobody overthrows him. Then in Niger, General Tiani is doing the same. So they are trying to build alliances to stay in power, to make it impossible for the colonial master to get through, bribe somebody to overthrow them. So the colonial master, France, is very, very frustrated because they cannot really break through. They are losing. In Niger, for example, we understand France used to pay Niger €1 for uranium. Then France would take the same uranium and sell it for €200 in Europe. Look at the economy. So do you see why Africans are poor and France is rich? France will take your product. France will buy it from you for €1. Then France will turn around and sell it for €200. So why should you not sell your euro yourself? This is what Niger needs to start thinking. And we understand Niger is becoming one of the fastest growing economies in Africa. And this is positive. We want this military junta to set the tone with their new vision so that we can have a new Africa. That's why we're praising the junta in Niger. But they need to take their fight also to Ivory Coast. In Ivory Coast, we have another puppet called Dramane Ouattara, Al-Hassan Dramane Ouattara. It's a French puppet, and we know that the military junta is targeting him. The military junta has been hosting Guillaume Soro. You guys must have heard about Guillaume Soro. If not, we're going to tell you more about Guillaume Soro next week. The military junta has been hosting him. He probably may be one of the guys they will use to overthrow Alassane Ouattara and install Guillaume Soro as the leader. We've just been getting information that is going to happen soon. So keep watching, okay? Finally, we take you to Nigeria. Nigeria, wow, we have a lot to say about Nigeria.
You need tax preparation services. We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
In Nigeria, on the good side, we hear Mr. Muhammadu Buhari, the former president of Nigeria, turned 81. So the APC and Bola Tinubu have been celebrating this former president. They have been lauding his achievements. But we don't know if Nigerians really agree. Nigerians think the Buhari period was really a lethargic period. Nothing was really working. So they don't really see what they are really celebrating. So it's all politics. Because even today, as we're talking to you, you have insecurity in Nigeria. Bola Tinubu promised he's going to end insecurity. But this week, the insecurity is taking place in Sokoto and Zamfara states. Those are two states in the north. You have encroachment. They call them bandits. They call them terrorists. Those names don't really matter to me. What matters to me is that these people are not happy with the status quo. It means you need to bring them to the table to talk. We saw pictures the military was parading, saying that the hideouts of most of these bandits, terrorists, were discovered and burned. Some of them were killed. They carted with some of their weapons. Is this going to bring about the end of insecurity in Nigeria? We don't think so. We've been saying time after time, what can bring about the end of insecurity in Nigeria is dialogue. The politicians need to sit with the disaffected people and chart a new future for Nigeria. Okay? Then don't think that insecurity is rife only in the north. In Rivers State, we understand some of the foreign guys of South Korea extraction were abducted and killed. Soldiers also were killed because these guys, they work for this conglomerate called Daewoo. Daewoo is a very big multinational corporation doing business in Nigeria. They are involved in road construction and mining. So sometimes their workers become a target of the so-called bandits and disaffected youth. Now Nigeria is making crime to be a big business, a paying business. We've told Bola Tinubu, if you want to be effective as the new leader of Nigeria, make crime not to pay. Give jobs to the disaffected youth. If they have better jobs, they will not be joining the ranks of Boko Haram. Rivers State, a lot of insecurity. Okay? Daewoo officials were kidnapped. Some of the soldiers that were accompanying them were killed, so they could not protect them. So militarization has failed. Why not give peace a chance? That's what we're asking Nigeria to do. Then finally, we take you to Nnamdi Kanu. There's a video somebody sent to us discussing the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. He was arrested. He was on bail. He skipped bail. He was illegally arrested in Kenya and returned to Nigeria. And since then, he has been incarcerated by the DSS, Department of Security Services. This week, we understand that there was a trial, and the judge decided that they should keep him in custody. Why keep him in custody indefinitely? Is this not lawlessness in a country where there is law? Why have they not tried him all this time? So this is not helping the cause of Nigeria, because Nnamdi Kanu has a lot of followers, especially the movement IBOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. They have a lot of followers. And the people are really angry, and they feel their leader is being persecuted unfairly. And a lot of people are really saying that there's been marginalization of the Igbos in Nigeria. It may be their own fault, but this marginalization exists. It's not just perceived, it is real. So we want Bola Tinubu to start doing something about the Igbo marginalization. Okay? And we have a video we're going to share with you. Probably this video will take us to the end of the show. It's a very long video, but this video just discusses the problems in Nigeria and why the Nigerian youth are angry with their government. The people are saying, stop, church. Africans pray too much. Maybe we should stop praying a little bit and start manufacturing so that this can give better jobs to our young people. So don't just sit and pray. I once made a comment to one of my sister's pastors, and I said, heaven helps those who help themselves. They retorted and laughed at me and said, oh, Prince Ajahn, you don't know the Bible. Heaven helps those who help themselves does not exist in the Bible. I did not say it exists in the Bible. I'm just interpreting the Bible. I said the way the Bible is written, if you're doing something, God will bless you. If you don't do anything, God will not bless you. The Bible is just like an invisible hand, like a clock. It keeps moving. If you don't do anything, it will not move. So you have to keep doing something for yourself. So these Nigerian youth are really complaining, and they are saying a lot of things that I think are pertinent, and I want to use this video to close the show of today. But before I do that, I say bye-bye and watch this video of the Nigerian youth showing marginalization. Watch it and let's end the show.
Yes, so Zion, Asaloko. Adoration, Holy Ghost is your power. So African youth, this is all we are clamoring for. We left what we were supposed to do at earlier time and focus on religion. By the time that African youth supposed to come together, unite together, and continue to fight on how to get a good governance, they unite themselves together in order to form one of the biggest religions on earth. This is the new one, it's an expressway. The roads are no good. We are on traffic. Nobody moves front, nobody moves back. And this is all we are preaching. There is no God anywhere from any Christianity, any pastor, or that will make your own case to be different. Now I am on traffic here, Reverend Fathers are stuck here, pastors are stuck here, bishops are stuck here. So the illiteracy that is going on in Africa is appalling. You know, by the time that African youth are supposed to unite themselves together in order to get a good government, they unite themselves together to pray. And they are no longer together again because Catholic Church have divided us. Anglican have separated us. Choosing have separated us. The white man introduced religion to you after slavery, and they took on, keeping on, key into science and technology to develop their land. As a black man you are, you continue dabbling in stupidity, that Jesus Christ is coming one day to save you. This is your land where Jesus is coming to save you. Can you see it? This is Igbo land where Jesus Christ lives, where Jesus performed miracles. But the same miracle Jesus has been performing, Jesus has failed to build our road for us. We left to do the needful and continue dabbling in stupidity or in the name of religion. We cannot use our common sense. We will keep on suffering. The white people that gave you religion will keep on building their land, while you will keep on with your eyes closed, praying to unseen spirit. You know, the stupidity of a black man is appalling. A black man who wants to go to heaven, look at where they came from. Black people who are dreaming about heaven, that refuse to build their land, look at where they came from. So you want to tell me that you and Switzerland citizen is going to live in heaven when you die? The white man brainwashed you. You are under brainwashed. Typical one. Only in Africa is where they call Jesus to protect them from motor accidents, stupidity, vagabonds that don't reason. All of us are being over there. You cannot see any transport or any transportation bus written the name of Jesus or God. in the Western world. Because they build their road, they tie their road, a problem. Look at us. Look at where we are living. Our pregnant mothers are stopped.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.